Alright guys, welcome to another HonestlySarcastc vlog. Yeah. About Star Wars Destiny. I don't know, I still wanna I gotta steal Tiny's thing. Like, the voice thing's not anything about his voice type or whatever, just I have to differentiate the way that I'm saying it. So that's vastly known. I really do like the way he says it, and I gotta steal it. I'm gonna ask him to give me an audio clip, and I'm gonna sit there and do it like 16 times and over and over. Then I'm gonna take the hat, I'm gonna assume his identity. Then I'll eat his heart and gain his courage. But okay, no, so seriously, so I guess today I'm gonna talk about some of the EaW decks that we're seeing. We just released the Gauntlet page on the main website, and we've had a lot of good responses about it, and we thoroughly thank you guys for letting us know that you love and support it, and us sometimes. But so I'd say if we were going to sit here and do like a quickie tier list, and the thing is that decks right now are still somewhere in they're kind of like in that awkward stage, like when you're growing your hair out and you get a little past this and now it's a mess and you have to like comb and condition and do a bunch of stuff before you get into like the afro stage, and then you get like long hair, or at least that's for me how it works, because I don't know, my hair doesn't like flow down and out. I got the nappy outside hair. But anyways, so I think that's where we're at right now with a lot of the deck construction for EaW. We're testing a bunch of stuff, seeing what flows, what works really well. There hasn't been some huge event where it's going to dictate what the normal players are playing. So right now we're seeing a ton of Thrawn Unkar. There's a lot of people like running around with like Mace decks because they want Mace to be very good. Pretty much treat him like... So the way I would say to treat Mace is just treat him like he's Vader, Sith Lord Vader. Like, it's pretty much guaranteed to be a 3-die deck. It's going to be all in on Mace and protecting Mace and Mace killing stuff. And then there's going to be a helper based on what you're looking for. So, you're going to have like the Rebel Trooper for Guardian, you're going to have the Padawan for like trying to get a big weapon out, maybe bestow it over, or just use it, etc., etc. So right now, I'd say that one's looking very much like the Vader Raider decks of old, or Vader Guard. We have Sabine running interference, douchebaggery floating around. I expect that to die down because the full combo versions are not good. There's just too many cards that would see mainstream play that kind of just bypass it. And if they're not running Sabine Rey, then they only have one character to do the lock with, and they could be like running a bunch of cards to find the lock, and then if they just don't, keep themselves alive, they die and the game's over. But we are seeing a lot of Elite Sabine, Elite Ezra, and that looks like a very strong bursty type deck. I'm not talking about tiers yet, we're just talking about new decks in case you're wondering. I ramble a lot. So we'll get to my theoretical tiers of right now later in this video. So just talking about new decks, we've got Cad Phasma, which is pretty much the return of Jango Veers. For anyone that remembers that from the first format, because Jango Veers terrorized it, and the deck ultimately plays very similarly to how that did, but has all the new toys. Let me think. Who else do we have that's brand new? We have like Mono Blues made the return with like cannons, or Qui-Gon cannon, Qui-Gon Rey, Ahsoka cannon. There's a lot of different stuff. Let me think. Most people haven't really been seeing Rainbow or Poe around at all. That could be a byproduct of people just being really upset about that whole SOR format, and how you quote-unquote had to play those, or just the whole like new set drop, let's be creative and build other stuff, let's not try to build upon something that was old and good. because there's the theoretical FN nerf that's coming out, which we don't know what will have an effect on him. Pomaz has a tougher time versus Thrawn Unkar. Oh, yes, Thrawn Unkar is the deck we talked about. So Thrawn Unkar's new control douchebag, like build deck, people are going to sit across from it and kind of hate life as they get, like, not actually locked out of the game, but just buried behind, tons of shields and having their hand ripped apart and not having privacy, I guess is how I'd say it. It's like your innermost thoughts are known and taken away. Because that's what Ron does. So I'm like, let's go see what's going on. Let's rip out whatever I'm afraid of, and let's just try to make you play my game for the round, and hopefully I don't die. Because that's really what it's hoping for the whole time. We have two-player format decks are still around. We have Cad Phasma. I'm sorry if you're hearing, like, dropping noise in the background. I don't know. But it's Massachusetts that I live in. So I went from a very clear day that was kind of cool and prepared for rain into a sudden downpour. Yeah. Probably checked my windows are closed. Okay, I did. Alright. So yeah, Anakin Phasma's still around. It's a very strong deck. I don't see it nearly as much. Probably because we're seeing a lot more Kylo FN right now. And there's a whole lot of Kylo FN love. Let's see, what else is there? You got Sith Lord Vader with Phasma, like leaderships. I think that deck's actually still very good. It just has... There's innate issues with running into someone running a ton of die control. We got Palpatine making the rounds again. And the thing about Palpatine is that it's very good in a format where people just aren't sure what they want to do. Because Palpatine can just run a bunch of control, hide a bunch of shields, and you're on a death block pretty much. Like, Palpatine just kills your opponent by resolving. And they have to decide how they're going to cope with that pretty much. I have not played as Palpatine. I've had very few games against Palpatine. But I tend to play burst decks, and burst decks kind of just like, oh, you're so cute, and you're 15 health. Dead. So yeah, trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing. There's probably something I'm missing, so, don't kill me over it. There's probably the mono red hero deck somewhere, like, I don't know how good they are right now. There's a bunch of range running around, which could be very solid, but if they sit there and run into, like, Kylo FN, it can be very dangerous. So, let's talk my theoretical tiers and why. But I quickly want to go over Patreon stuff, and no, I'm not going to sit here trying to sell you a bunch of stuff, so just give me like 30 seconds to a minute to talk about it. The community is actually very, very good. I kind of just wanted to talk and like thank them. They're very useful, helpful to each other, and it's not just the hyperloops are the people teaching everyone everything, and this is a classroom. It's really a community that's like growing together, and we're talking about deck lists, different testing, different stuff. There's not much groupthink as far as like, yeah, this is the best deck ever. Like, the people are trying stuff out. They're actually giving their honest opinions on cards and different stuff, why they like it, why they don't like it. People are going and making the changes, adjusting accordingly. And we're seeing decks very quickly like kind of streamline into what their game plan is, and for other things in the format, talking about how to like beat certain matchups, different things like that. So I wanted to give a shout out to the community for being very great. There's pretty much no actual fights, which I'm used to seeing with like other games where people just go, "You're dumb." Well, you're dumb. And it's like, it's more of like, hey, I don't like it because of this. Da 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 da. If someone seems like they've been snappy, I don't even see someone say like, hey, you're being a dick. Like, it's literally like people say whatever, and then I think they reread what they wrote, and they're like, you know what, my apologies if I seem snippy, and they're like, oh, no, cool, man. Like, you aren't, you're just telling me what's going on. And like, it's pretty much a big blunt community, and, you know, occasional references of like Married with Children or Singing the Gambler, which you'll probably hear quite often in some of these Patreon exclusive videos once they get dumped. But anyways, okay, so back onto the task at hand. Sorry about that, but it is September 30th, so if you want to join, get in now. We'll be in there for October. Okay, so now that my advertising sales have been used, let's get to the tier list. So my current thoughts, and I'm going to add Rainbow and Poe Maz to this. Whilst I don't actually play Poe Maz, I think some of the toys they got are very useful. I don't know if the format is still the same. Rainbow crushes everything, and Poe Maz has the best matchup versus Rainbow because thermal, haha, you're dead. Or 2 times thermal, haha, you're dead. But they did get Sonic Cannon. So based on the available resources, like, those are some very large hits. So prior to EaW, when Poe Maz threw a thermal, Bala would have 5 health, Night Sister has 4, and FN has 8. It pretty much meant that the 2 key people, Bala and FN, were completely outside of range of a second shot from killing them. Sonic Cannon completely changes that. And what ends up happening here is that if Poe throws... So Poe has, let's say, 2 resources to start, okay? He rolls out, does whatever you can't mitigate, he thermals. Cool. The dilemma now is that Poe could actually just throw a Sonic Cannon for 5, still have 1 resource left, and Bala's dead. Depending on the speed that this comes out, it could be before you've even resolved a Bala died. Meaning that you lost 8 health, 2 of your dice before using it. We're just talking about Rainbow, by the way. And now it's going to be FN and Night Sister versus a Poe who's pretty much done for the round, which isn't very great, because even if you cycle a couple 2-drops, like, what's the damage you're hoping to get? 4? Maybe 5 if you're lucky. Like, if you hit there, you sit there and you're like, alright, X8s or LL30s, holdouts, F11s, whatever, and you chain them together. Let's see, Night Sister plus, you know, let's say we'll give you max damage here. Night Sister plus 2, and then FN plus another plus 2. We're at 7. So sure, but what are the actual odds of that? Not really high. So that has a speed to it that is still very much dangerous and scary. And that's without thinking about some of the other options. Like I said, I don't play Poe Maz. I just know that just that 1 card gives them a bunch of freedom. And even if, let's say, Bala started with the shield, Poe can throw it for... Oh, actually, no, sorry. Yeah, 5 for 2 resources. My apologies. 6 is for 3. So yeah, he would have been able to pop. If Poe's running Truce, which is one of my more favorite cards in current EaW, because sometimes you need a resource at instant speed that you're going to be able to rack, and you can do stuff. He could Truce and then 6 and actually kill Bala. I'm not a big fan of that one, based on the giving FN the additional resource and what would be necessary. But just in general, there's a lot of scary stuff there, because Sonic Cannon allows you to maintain the, okay, 3 for free, 4 for a resource, 5 for 2. And then in weird situations, you're like, alright, 6 for 3. But yeah, so like there's... Poe has a little bit more firepower right now. The question is whether he can string that together well, with Piranha and Car being around and the ability to mess with their hand. But you can kind of like... You can probably change the deck and function completely differently than the way it was before, and maybe that'll be great. They do have 2-drop vehicles right now and 3-drop vehicles, so maybe it turns into Poe throws a Y-Wing special, and puts it to play when he has 3, or both throws a T-47 airspeeder, which is not really so great, but for 2 damage, and then gets it in play, and then you activate it, and like there's some interesting things there, but no one's made a post about FOMAS, and maybe it's just because the whole like people hated it and expect a nerf thing. But I'm going to put it at least at tier 1.5, and it's probably still somewhere near tier 1, if not tier 1 itself. We're going to ignore god tiers here, because without the format rounding out, it's way too hard to have like a tier 0, god tier, S tier, whatever you want to call it. So I would definitely put FOMAS at least at 1.5. Rainbow got additional toys, and the only thing that really happened is that other decks got better. So like in SOR, decks couldn't really field a full 30 good cards. You'd have 30 cards because you obviously need it, but they wouldn't be 30 that were the best of the best, or the most efficient for whatever your plan is, and they're probably lacking synergy. Whereas because Rainbow's 3-color, it had all of the best cards available to it, with whatever synergy it could afford, based on like resource costs and different things like that. And their weapons actually just got better with the inclusion of Phasma Blaster, Relby, LL30, X8, and then the melee versions got, Ancient Saber, Crossguard, you could run Shoto if you had enough glue, the lightsaber pull to go find what you're looking for. There's a lot of inclusion there for like FN and his weapons. A bunch of them came out, and you could make the weapon choices much more linear, whereas before you were kind of stuck with your available options, and they were not amazing. So I'd probably still put Rainbow in tier 1, because I do actually play it, but it's not the same as SOR format. In the SOR format, people were just not playing it well, and I'm not trying to, I'm elitist in general, but like in what I'm talking about, I'm not attempting to be. People were just doing crazy shit and getting away with it. They're like cycling and doing stuff very inefficient, and there was a lot of like luck into, oh look, FN got the 1 base range, and oh my, they got a +3. Yeah, when like they had resolved the Night Sister base 2 on its own for some ungodly reason earlier. Stuff like that. So it's much better now, or it can be much more consistent now, but because of the power creep of the other decks, and that they got more usable cards, and they have like better options for removal and things like running interference, where they can kind of mess with you quite a bit. The power level isn't nearly as drastically, like the gap isn't as large, because the other decks are running smoother now, and before they just weren't allowed to. Like even Han Ray, stuff like that, where I felt they were just like the scum of the earth because they were terrible. Like your die rolls were never like consistent, and it was hard to really get stuff going. They have more available options. If you need more than just Vibro Knife for getting melee to resolve raised dice, you have Ancient Sabers now. X8s will allow you to take all that extra resources and flip your dice to, flip that die at least to, oh, okay, I need a base. Alright, no, I need a 3 for a resource. I need a +2. I need a disrupt here because they're going to try to get this rocket use again. Like, whatever it is, it gives you more options. They have more 2-drop ambush triggers. There's more ambush cards and weapons that are part of the actual game plan and don't stink. So other decks have just brought themselves up with the inclusion of EAW or the introduction of EAW, and that is a huge difference from what we were looking at before. Not a big thing at the end of SOR, but it was more of a cute play at that point, was Never Tell Me the Odds with an Infamous. So Han was, rolling out a bunch of upgrades, then, alright, I rolled junk because my dice are not amazing. And then someone would cast something and it would be like, Infamous, Never Tell Me the Odds, flip all my damage, smack you for like 12, 11, 10, 6 here, 4 there, whatever you needed to get crazy and burst out. And this brings us to the next deck, Sabine Ezra. So, Sabine Ezra as a mono-yellow deck right now is seeing the rounds as I have running interference, and I can be annoying, and oh look, I randomly locked you out of the game. But the big thing here is the abuse of Sabine's ability with things like DL44 and being able to be like, alright, cast DL44 or over my other DL44, eat your dive, before activate, overwrite DL over DL, eat your second dive. Sabine's in the pool with whatever weapons, it's still my action. And now they get to do the never tell me the odds thing, and just off of an infinite and push out damage, or go running interference. Never tell me the odds, flip all my dice, activate running interference, you can't cast a card. So sure, you can resolve a die, but now you're staring at a bunch of damage, and you can't mitigate any of it. Unless you have something like an honor guard in play, or hidden agenda into dodge, which would be hilarious, because Kenny Hawk on Discord was talking about it. And it's funny. And it'd be hilarious to do that to somebody. But the odds are that when you're running interference, never tell me the odds, your opponent is going to be really screwed. So you get to just burst them down, and that's if you don't already roll good. Because if you roll well enough to just, oh, I dealt 5 here, that guy might have already had 5 health left, and then you just kill it, and you can have never tell me odds for the subsequent round. Unless, it's going to stack your damage so much that you get to blow up that one guy and set up for, potential blowing up the second guy, or just enough a big chunk of damage. And if you have Infamous, then you get to do it all in the same same turn without your opponent doing anything. So that deck is very good looking and up and coming from that perspective, but it still runs that inherent issue where it doesn't have a whole lot of good redeploys. It's pretty much hold all blaster, and then if someone's running bowcaster, because X8 is amazing but does not have redeploy. DL44 amazing, does not have redeploy, but they go very well with Sabine shenanigans. So after that, it turns into protecting Sabine. Ezra will allow you to pretty much screw with the opponent or get potential extra damage. So we're looking at 1 damage, 2 damage, 1 damage base, 2 for a modifier, Disrupt, which is there for helping to screw with the opponent and not having resources, or forcing them to spend their next action casting whatever card they were going to cast with all of their resources, i.e. like FN, or anybody playing like a 2-cost upgrade. If you roll out Ezra first, you're showing Disrupt, they're going to spend their money. You have a resource side, and then you have a special, which is a resource into a Disrupt, assuming you got to do it that way. So especially if you're showing a special, people are probably casting whatever they have in hand that'll spend all their resources. If they can't spend all their resources, then it's a big wah-wah moment for them, and they're like, crap. Because the last thing you want to do is give Sabine additional resources. When you go from 2 to 3, it allows you to A, cast DL44s, but B, like your holdout or X8 can actually now use the pay side. Or, if you want to disrupt for 3 with Sabine, I guess, but that's not likely unless you're playing like Drunkard or the start of a new round, and you just kind of want to screw with them like old unrated. So there's a lot of interesting things there, plus you have Second Chance, and people have adopted the Starship Graveyard. I can, do shoot out with running interference, and that combos very well with Second Chance like the old days. I can just cycle my Second Chances, where you can, activate her, pull out like a Thermal Paint for 1. If you do it off of Infamous, you have an immediate action. You dealt the damage, and now you can actually just cast Second Chance over it, and that'll cost you your 2 resources to start the round. And there you go. Like when Han did it, he always had to get that 3rd resource to really pay for it, unless he was giving up his old upgrades. But Sabine has a theoretical trick around it. And sure, we could be talking about, oh, well, that's, multiple card combos because you need Infamous. Not really. So the big thing here is that the deck is mighty annoying, and you'll have stuff like Smuggling or Truce to be be able to get those out. You still have Starship to rebound the second chances. And that's if you got stuck playing on your field. You can very well just take the opponent's field and start with shields and maybe play new orders, switch into it. It's just that there are annoying things there that are going to make the deck very solid. Like if you can burst her down round 2, you get the burst her down round 2 and the game probably ends. If you didn't take, you can also like keep your guy in the process. It's just one of those things where this is what makes a great deck, is when you have a lot of synergistic options like that, and the ability to like action G and do things very, very well. Sabine does that. So I expect you to see an increase in her usage, especially since she has a lockout potential. She's very safe versus Thrawn because she can pull from the graveyard. Bursty, but she's still going to run into that same issue of my dice are not super amazing. What I mean by that is like when she rolls out just herself, she's only 55% to be showing at least to damage at least to show at least damage on one of her dice. I want to say it's 44% or something like that on showing it on one die, and it's 11% for showing it on 2 dice. But that's neither here nor there. So realistically, that's all that actually matters. I'm sorry, I don't even know what I'm saying there. Sorry. So Sabine and Ezra I expect to be tier 1 based on that. It's possible she's still lacking some of the full 30 card set. Sorry, like the 30 card contents of the deck to have a very strong synergistic deck. But I think where we're currently at is actually a very good place for her. So I don't see that really being an issue. She has some way to get resources. She has some big defensive options, and she has big ways to get damage. So she at least seems, from the current standpoint, as a definite option for tier 1. If she falls off later, who knows? But her issue is going to be stuff like Kylo, new Kylo, because 2-player Kylo can just call yellow, and if, assuming that you can't just kill him round 2, you're probably looking at minimum of 4 damage, closer to 6 free damage, and his partner is probably going to be Phasma or FN, and that goes a long way towards just like killing her. So her issue is probably going to be like the burst decks and less the control decks, because she can kind of just ignore those, and you get random wins off running interference slot, kind of like the old days where you call it on someone and win. So next on the agenda is Kylo FN. It's the premier FN deck for melee. It doesn't get to do the same stuff that Rainbow did, but it has a more consistent line of options as far as like the base sides. The dilemma is going to be that is affording things. It's lacking yellow, so it doesn't have, truce, doesn't have he doesn't like you. It can't protect itself from friends in low places. But what it does have instead of that is it has full access to Vibro Knife. So pretty much everything in its repertoire for weapons, outside of random rocket launchers and stuff like that, is melee. So as long as you stick a Vibro Knife, all of your damage is getting under those shields, the Throne-Car. It's going to bypass the Force Illusions of the blue decks and the shields, because we all know Hero Blue loves shields, loves the Force Illusion. And the fact of the matter is versus any of the mono decks, Kylo just gets to start way ahead, because he's pretty much activating UP damage. He will miss occasionally, it's life. But that is a huge sticking point for trying to build some decks, and why some decks are going away from mono. And it's just that Kylo FN is run rampantly, and it is very, very good. It does not do the boundless tricks as well as Rainbow, but you have 2 very key targets that can outwork a bunch of damage. After Kylo FN, we're probably looking at Anakin Phasma. I'm still going to put Anakin Phasma as tier 1, just because Throne Room is very obscene with their ability. pretty much you get to roll, and whatever dice are showing damage, you resolve them, and then you claim somewhere to get a bunch more damage. If between a Phasma die and 2 of Anakin's dice you get the 6 damage, then the claim for Phasma puts you at 9, and that's a whole lot. What are these people doing? So it is very quick to add those damage counters to the opponent's guys, and what I don't know is how, like, what it's going to use for the weapon base. Is it going to use holocron? Is it going to be melee weapons? Is it going to be like a little bit of both? Z6s? No Z6s. Holdouts? No holdouts. You know, where is it going with that? How can it afford things? Yada yada. But it kind of plays similar. It can play actually much better than Kylo Anakin, because the new quote unquote special for Phasma is guaranteed damage, whereas Kylo was like, oh, I can hit you for 0 or 1 or 5. Yay, 5. And Phasma's like, nah, take 2. Oh wait, you're almost dead? Yeah, take 3. So being able to shrink that 1 health is very big. So I'd put it as tier 1 for now. It's not guaranteed. But it's looking very smooth. Vader Phasma, I have to put it at least at tier 1.5, which is probably going to make some people very upset. The dilemma just goes back into removal on Vader's dice is very annoying. Vader's dice is low chance for damage. We don't have a 4-die package for Sith Lord Vader, which is kind of brutal. Like, if Vader was 20 points, would we consider running with Basine for some crazy control shenanigans? Maybe. Maybe not. But he doesn't even get that option. But I'm not sitting here complaining about it. I'm just kind of rationalizing the entire thing. And there are some very good Thrawn decks that prize possession and lock down that one of those Vader dice. And after that, they only have to pop 1 per round. And that can shut down most, if not the entire deck. Pending whether you're going holocron package or like melee weapons package. The melee weapons package don't do nearly as much damage until you hit like Z6. So the 2-drop ones that you may be running can get bounced with inspection. You're going to notice that I'm talking 0 about Rend because I don't even like the card. There are decks that are going to have to run it because you can't, like, there are certain decks that just lose to Imperial Inspection. Yeah, pretty much just Imperial Inspection is like the card, or the reason I think people would run Rend. You might run it in it because you're afraid of inspection, but also because you can like hit holocron and force speeds, but you're not running it because you're like, oh my god, I must kill force speed. It just doesn't matter like that. Man, I feel like I'm missing a bunch of the decks for tier 1 in my mind. Mace looks solid. I'd call it tier 2 for now. Thrawn Unkar looks like it's tier 1. Buyouting people for like 13 to 15 seems pretty amazing. You have people crime lording on the first round or second round, which is very good. Let me think. I've arrived at my destination, by the way, as you can tell. That's all I can really think of right now. Like, Han Raid looks like it's very solid, has an option, but is it going to be better than Sabine Ezra? They're going to play very similarly, but Han can protect himself much better. So that deck could just end up being the way to go. Hold on. Grab my shirt. So we'll kind of see what's going on with the decks and the tiers and different stuff like that, and kind of go from there. But there are some very good stuff. I don't like any of the Vader Magna Guard stuff. Like it's cool. It's, you know, nice concept for your best defenses into your price of failures and stuff. But it's you can't price a failure the Magna Guard twice in a round. As soon as you price possession, it dies because it only says alive from damage. So who cares? Plus the Magna Guard requires money for like doing damage. It's like I think. Welcome. Okay, you get to see my face up front. Nah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I can really think on the tier list. I'm probably missing some stuff. So feel free to comment on whatever you think's missing, and I could try to associate it. Oh, Mazher Vehicles looks like it's honestly a tier 2 deck. It's very good at doing AoE, but it's very bad at doing burst. It also has like it has big single target issues. I think the big things it needs to be able to reuse are stuff like Y-Wing, and it's too slow. The character dice can't do damage on their own very well. So if A, they get a bad hand, or B, they got slowed down a bit, or like resource disrupted, that screws them immensely. And all you sometimes need is that one extra round, and the game's over. Because all the burst decks are going to be able to kill Maz, and they could quite possibly kill her round 1. Once Maz is dead, Hera can no longer guarantee special the vehicles in, or at least at a very high rate. And Rookie Pilot is going to just die. So, like, you get oh man, you got a Ewing out, but what if your opponent didn't care about shields? 2 damage AoE doesn't do anything. Oh, you got to reuse it 3 times. Yeah, at what cost? So, I expect that deck to be like tier 2. There might be a tier 1 version. I'm trying lots of crazy stuff, but you need much better character dice for outputting damage if you're going to cheat stuff like that. So it becomes a problem. You know, where do you put up? Can you play upgrades in it? Is it just supports? What kind of abuse can we get going? And I think the full vehicle thing, until we have a vehicle that can hit large, is not going to be good enough. Like if Sonic Cannon was a vehicle, there's definitely promise there, because you just cheat in a Sonic Cannon, get out like a 6 and use it off of Rookie Pilot. Like Maz flips it to a 6, attempt to resolve, tap the Rookie Pilot, smash for 6. That would be great. It's an artillery. Can't use it. You can untap it and try to use it again, but it's hard to get out. So we'll kind of see where that's going. I have some theories I'm going to try out and see where it takes me. I tried some Lando Rookie Pilot, but that wasn't very great. But I got to go into work now. My trip was very fast. So I think that's where we're at for everything. I don't know if I missed stuff. Let me know. Leave a comment. And I hopefully you guys enjoy this. And, you know, Hyperloops. Love you guys. Join the community if you want. $3, it gets you in. Talk with the people. You learn. If you're looking to grow and get much better, I think it'll be very, very good for you. We have a lot of very good players in there. And I'm not sitting here trying to, like, give lists of names and stuff. But you'd be kind of surprised who's in there that you wouldn't know won big events. That's all I can really say. But appreciate it as always. Thanks for watching. And check us out on the website. Let us know comments. Just, you know, let us know how we're doing. You love us, you love us. If you think we could grow, give us some ideas. We're all for it. We might hate you a little bit, though. Just a little bit. But I'm kidding. All right, have a great one. Peace out.